Welcome to lesson 18-6. Tonight we're going to be talking about circle graphs. Circle graph is a visual that is used to show how a whole breaks down into parts.
I can't wait to announce the class trip at tomorrow's assembly. Everyone will be so pumped to visit New York. I've got to think of an easy way to show everyone how the voting went. Got any ideas?
Oh, use a circle graph. The pizza totally inspired me. It looks just like a circle graph. Each section is a part of the whole, like the slices.
Great idea. I can show a circle representing all the votes and divide it into different sections representing the votes for each trip option.
All right, first we need to know the total number of votes and the number of votes that each trip got. We'll use those to create our fractions.
Okay. Altogether, 228 kids voted.
Nice turnout. Now we need to know how many sectors to divide the circle into.
Sectors?
Yeah, a sector is the part of the circle made by drawing two straight lines from its center to different places on its outer edge.
Oh, like a slice of pizza.
You'll have a different number of sectors depending on the denominator of your fractions. So let's figure out your fractions. How many votes did each trip get?
Well, there were 4 trips to vote on. Space Camp, Niagara Falls, New York City, and the Extreme Supreme Theme Park. Space Camp got 76 votes. That means 76 students out of 228. Niagara Falls got 38 votes. That is 38 228s. New York City got 95 votes, which is 95 228s. And the Extreme Supreme Theme Park got 19 votes, or 19 228s. Those are some big fractions.
Well, we can simplify the fractions. Just be sure to keep a common denominator. If we simplify so that we have our least common denominator as 12, we get 4 twelfths, 2 twelfths, 5 twelfths, and 1 twelfth.
Okay, so since 12 is the denominator, my graph should have 12 sectors. But wait, how big are they supposed to be?
It's easy to figure out. Just divide 360, the total degrees in the circle, by the denominator, or the number of sectors. That's 360 divided by 12. So each sector should be 30 degrees.
And I measured degrees with a protractor?
Yeah, here, use my protractor. It shows the 180 degrees in a half circle. Just measure one half of the circle and then the other, drawing straight lines from the center to every 30 degrees.
Nice! What's next?
Well, the hard part's over. Now you just look at your fractions and color in the number of sectors represented by the numerator. So for Niagara Falls, you color in 2 sectors for 2 twelfths.
Oh, 4 for Space Camp, 1 for Amusement Park, and then 5 for New York City, the winner.
All that's left now is to make a key and give your graph a title.
Well, the title is obviously Class Trip Votes.
Pick a color for each trip.
How about red for Space Camp, blue for Niagara Falls, yellow for the Extreme Supreme Theme Park, and then green for New York City? Piece of cake.
Piece of pie graph.
Seriously, though, this really was a piece of cake. A circle graph shows the parts of a whole, and it's the perfect way to show the class the amount of votes each trip received, and to compare the huge number of votes. I found a common denominator to figure out the number of sectors on the graph, then divided 360, the degrees in the circle, by that denominator to get the sector size. I colored the number of sectors according to each different section's numerator, and then made a color-coded key to tell the class which trip each color represents, and bam! I've got one sweet circle graph.
Nice work, RJ. I think you've earned yourself another piece of the pie.
I don't mind if I do.
A circle graph shows the parts of a whole, pieces of a pizza, the whole of a part, results of a vote in bars. What are the parts of a circle graph called? Segments, slices, fractions, sectors. The circle graph shows the different ways students get to school each day. How do most students get to school? Bicycle, car, school bus, walking. What tool is used to draw sectors on a circle graph? Calculator, ruler, protractor, compass. The circle graph shows what RJ's classmates eat for breakfast. What is the least popular breakfast item? Pancakes, French toast, yogurt, waffles. Which two foods did the students choose in equal amounts? Yogurt and eggs, oatmeal and waffles, pancakes and yogurt, French toast and cereal. Sam's art teacher asked her students what kind of art project they would like to do. The circle graph shows how the students responded. If there are 20 students in Sam's art class, how many wanted to paint? Eight, 4, 20. A circle graph shows the parts of a whole. Sectors are the part of a circle made by drawing two straight lines from the center to different places on the circumference. The sector for the school bus is the largest on the pie graph. Most students take the school bus to get to school. That's the blue section right there. A protractor is used to draw sectors on a circle graph. French toast has the smallest sector on the circle graph, which means the least number of students chose French toast for breakfast. The red. Nine students chose oatmeal and 9 students chose waffles. Oatmeal is the orange. Waffles is the purple. A total of 20 students were surveyed. 20% of the students wanted to paint. 20% of 20 is 4. 4 students wanted to paint. How I figured that out is if this whole circle equals 20, half of it would equal 10. If I cut this into 4 sections, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So a fourth of the circle would be 5. This painting looks like it is less than a fourth of a circle. So which one is less than a fourth of a circle? Less than 5? I would pick 4. So how can you use fractions and percents to label a circle graph? A circle graph, remember, shows all 100% of the data. So if I were to take this graph right here, and if I were to add up all those percentage marks, it would equal 100. How am I going to show a percent on this graph? It's 1/2. This one is fairly simple. 1/2 of a circle is 50%, because 50% plus 50% equals 100%. I have 1/4 of a circle. I would divide my circle graph into fourths. This one is also fairly easy because I think when you divide 100 into 4, what do you get? Well, let's take $100. I divide that into 4, I'd have $25. Or let's take $1. If you divide $1 into 4, what would you have? You would have 4/4. So there is my percentage, would be 25% in each of these sections. Now if I would take 1/5, I'm going to divide this circle into 5 equal sections. Of course, you would need to use a protractor, but right now I'm just going to eyeball it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that when you do this, you have equal sections. Now I have to figure out the percentage. Remember, it's a total of 100%. If I divide 100% by 5, let's see, 5 can't go into 1. 5 can go into 10 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Don't forget to bring down that 0. 5 goes into 0 0 times. 5 times 0 is 0. I get 20%. Last one we're going to work with is 1/10. How many sections do I need to divide this into? I need to divide it into 10 equal sections. How much will each little section be percentage-wise? Let's see, 10 goes into 100. How many times? 10 times. So each section would be 10%. We are going to work with this a bit more tomorrow, looking at fractions and percents to make them into circle graphs. But for tonight, I'd like you to write down one note. Label it 18.6 at the top. A circle graph shows how all 100% of a set of data has been divided into parts. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow.